Hey, we're going to be looking at where Commander started, where it's moved, where it's at now, and the path forward. And we'll even open up a few packs coming right up. Welcome to Wizards Whimsy. I'm your host, Patrick. Today we're going to go over a lot of information and hopefully a short amount of time. I thought it'd be best if we start off kind of at the beginning. And when I say the beginning, I mean the beginning of Commander or EDH. And let's go ahead and talk about that and see how it's grown, how we got to where we are, and what the path forward is. And we'll even take a look at a couple of packs of cards. So, sit back and let's jump right into it. So while Sheldon Menery is tied to EDH, it was originally created by Adam Stanley back in 1996. So there's a good chance that there's a good portion of y'all that wasn't even born when this idea came about. The Elder Dragon Highlander kind of paid homage to the Highlander movie while also using the original dragons from Legends. So that is where it got its start from, where it's based out of. And it wasn't until, I think it was like 2002, when Menery got introduced to it in Alaska. So not only was it created in 1996, it ended up in Anchorage, Alaska, is where Menery found it. He was introduced to it, like I said, back in, I think, 2002-ish time frame while he was stationed there serving in the Air Force. That's a pretty good jump there, because it wasn't until 2006 is when Menery and one of the other judges actually developed the rules committee for EDH. And it wasn't until 2011 that Wizards of the Coast actually created their first set of commander decks. They did that in 2011, and then 2012 they didn't do anything, and then in 2013 they started to pop off commander decks, a set every year, and it went on like that until 2020. In 2020, pandemic hits, people are getting extra money because the shutdown and unemployment paying that extra amount of money, where it actually doubled what some people's incomes were while they had a job. People had a little extra money coming in. Everything was pretty much closed down. So they looked for things that they could do. And that's when Commander really sprung to life. So in 2020, with Ikoria, you had your initial annual release of Commander decks, and then pretty much every standard set after that had 2 Commander decks that was themed to the set. Now, what was great about those 2 Commander decks were that they were like $20 to buy the Commander decks. We're going to go ahead and take a quick little break right here, and we'll go ahead and open a pack of Play Booster from Duskmourn. All right, so the bottom card, we got a Glimmer and a Manifest. Impossible Inferno, Appendage Amalgamation, and Moldering Gem Weight Room, Enter the Enigma, Cult Healer, Boiler Bilge Ripper, Monstrous Emergence, Twisted Reality. This is a good multi-purpose card. Altenac, the Thrice Called, Baseball Bat, Fear of Abduction, the rare Swarm Weaver, legendary artifact creature Scarecrow, Full Art Land, and our foil is Impossible Inferno. It's pretty good little cards there. So, we'll go ahead and get into the next portion of the video. So we move on to September of 2023. Sheldon passed away. Really left a vacuum in the community, especially in the rules committee. He invited a lot of the members to the rules committee, And he also personally invited a lot of members to the CAG, the Commander Advisory Group. So he passed away in 2023. Flash forward to September 2024, we get this huge ban, 4 cards, Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, Dockside Extortionist, Nadu, Winged Wisdom. It took everybody by surprise. You know, depending on which videos you look at, you can find some that actually have people that have talked to people inside of Wizards and they advised the Rules Committee against doing the ban. The CAG even said that doing a ban of that size would be wrong, but the Rules Committee went ahead and did that. Now, the thing that everybody is talking about and harping about is the threats that the Rules Committee had gotten. While that should never happen, we are people, so people suck from time to time, but there's also great people. One of the things that is being spouted is that, you know, they went to Wizards. Wizards has resources that they don't have available. They do to an extent, like they can offer extra security at events or maybe even private security if that's called for. But one of the things that the Rules Committee has, it still has, and has had access to is that they could always call the police or the law enforcement. Could even go into federal and actually, you know, put people on notice for that. So the resources available can vary, and depending on what they were planning on doing and how they plan on doing things. The first resource that they had available was actually law enforcement, and that's the first step that they should have taken. I don't know if they did. There's not a lot of talk about their processes that they went through. I know it seems that a lot of them were scared, and I mean, if you're getting death threats, why wouldn't you be scared, especially if it's a mass amount coming in? So that's what a lot of people are talking about. They're talking about those people in the community that did those threats. Well, one thing that we should look at is that that's a very small portion of the community. The community at large has pretty much said that, you know, those people suck and they need to find something to where they don't suck as much. So a week after that ban, we get an announcement that they have handed over the management of Commander to Wizards of the Coast. We don't know what all was in that process or how it happened. We do know that that is where it's at now. Now's a good time to go ahead and break and go ahead and open up another pack of the Play Boosters. We got our art card, Cult Healer, Boiler Biggs Ripper, Resurrected Cultist, Horrid Vigor, a Room, Meat Locker, Drowned Diner, Possessed Goat, Fanatic Strength, Boundless Pool, Locker Room, Cynical Loner, Fear of Infinity, another Room, Greenhouse, and Rickety Gazebo. And our rares, Leyline of Hope. We have a foil Full Art Swamp and a foil Emerge from the Cocoon. So nice little cards there. I actually like the rooms, some of them. So we'll go ahead and get into the next segment. Now, what Wizards of the Coast is planning on doing, we do have a little bit of an idea, but it's not a clear path. They decided that they're going to do a bracket system, and decks are going to be ranked by brackets. There is a Discord that you can join. I'll actually post the Wizards announcement that has the links to their Discord so that you can go and join in on the Discord if that's what you wish. The Discords themselves, it's kind of crazy because when you go into the brackets discussion, I mean, the rhyme and reason for putting cards in brackets range from price, availability, whether it makes a person feel bad. I mean, it's just out there all over the place. Also putting cards like Soul Ring and Polluted Delta, saying that they are bracket 0 or bracket 1, kind of really skews how the rest of the bracket should go. That's just my take on it. Other people are really excited about the idea of the brackets and coming up with a way to have a more enjoyable experience playing Commander. Now, they want to say that precons are all bracket 1, and I can understand that. You know, you have a product that is accessible to everyone whenever it comes out. You want people to be able to just sit down, open those packs up, sleeve them, play with them unsleeved, and just have fun. But it does not help, because if you look at the Commander decks from 2014 versus the Commander decks now, there is a power level difference in those decks. So saying that all the precons are power level 1, it's not justified to say that all precons are bracket 1, because depending on the year of the precon, the power level is different, because there has been a significant power creep in the decks. They've actually gotten the mana bases to where they're a little bit better now. The cards synergize a little bit better now. So looking at cards from now versus 2014 decks, 2015 decks, there's a clear power level difference. So putting them all in bracket 1, it just kind of feels disingenuous, and it feels kind of like, well, we're just going to hurry up and do something, so this is what we're going to do. They did say that they want to try this out at Vegas, which is, a few weeks away, so that's putting a lot of pressure. So you'll see a very rough beta version there, but I'm not sure how that is going to actually translate. There is still talks that CEDH needs its own list or its own bracket, which I think would be a good idea if they actually just went to CEDH having their own ban list. Right now is a perfect time to do that. With all the turmoil that's going on, with the community being divided, community is coming together. Let's not say it's not, but it is coming together. But we need to take this opportunity to build. And I think that'd be the best thing to do moving forward, is to take a look at what we can do to make the formats better. I mean, there is a clear difference just in the philosophy of Commander and CEDH. So with Commander, you want the slow-paced games. You want to just sit back, chill, relax. If the game takes 2-3 hours, that's fine. And CEDH, in tournaments, a lot of times you have 80 minutes to get the job done, and it's you against 3 other people. Now, you might be able to team up with one or another to stop one person, but they're going to do the same to you. So you have that 80-minute cycle, and you're playing to win. You're not playing to pull off some weird little Warp World combo or anything like that. You're playing to win, and you're playing to win as fast as you can. And that is a clear distinction between Commander and CEDH. They can keep all the cards that they banned on the Commander side, while also taking the opportunity to unban some cards, rearrange, reevaluate the ban list for CEDH. And I would actually, advise that they come up with their own committee for CEDH, because trying to mesh the two philosophies together, you're going to leave one behind. You can't put all your focus on this group while allowing this group to live in that same cycle and ignore them. But if you spend time with this other group, then you're ignoring this group. So there needs to be a clear separation. And right now is the best time to do that. I think the bracket system can work in casual, but it does not work for CEDH. And separating CEDH from casual is probably the best thing that Wizards could do. There are plenty of CEDH players out there that are front-facing with the community that would be great to have as committee members, it would be great to have, you know, looking over the format, helping you gauge the health of the format. And I'm sure that they could work together really well and have CEDH be a thriving community, just like casual Commander is. And separating them both and having a separate ban list, you can ban a lot more cards in the casual to keep casual players happy, while, you know, not being so stringent on the ban list for competitive play. But still have a ban list, and it would still need to be looked at, because, you know, when certain decks just are always on top, just like any competitive format, you want to vary it up a little bit so cards would get banned. So it would be a ban list that fluctuates, I believe, and something that, you know, cards that people are like, oh, don't ban this, will probably end up getting banned, like Thassa's Oracle. You could even see Underworld Breach. I mean, there are certain cards that could be banned and would actually make the format a little bit healthier. Like, you might not even ban Thassa's Oracle. You might ban Demonic Consultation, something that keeps that, you know, turn 1, turn 2 win out of grasps off of those decks. I believe it'll actually open it up to where more decks are available to be played, but it's something that you can look at. So that would be my advice, is to have CEDH as its own format. All right, this is the last pack that we're going to open. We got a Glimmer token, Don't Make a Sound, Jump Scare, Ragged Playmate, Fear of Lost Teeth, Cautious Survivor, Seized from Slumber, Twist Reality, Disturbing Mirth, Haunted Screen, Orphans of the Wheat, Ghostly Keybearer. Our rare is Chainsaw. So we get to pull the old Chainsaw out, a foil Plains, and a foil Vanish from Sight. So that was our last pack that we're opening in this video. Thanks for taking time to look at this video. I hope it brought some insight. Hope it helped clarify some things. Hope it actually caused you to ask some questions and gave you some ideas on what you can do to help the format grow, how you can get involved, and where we want this format to go, and how we want casual and CEDH to work together and work well together, and the best way that we can do that. I do feel that separating CEDH from casual is the best path forward. It will cause the least amount of headaches. I think it would help having those chase cards available, you know, because there's a lot more that they could pull from, especially if they unban certain cards off of the Commander ban list. I think that would give them more reprint equity so that they can satisfy their board members. It's kind of the best of both worlds, because there's more cards available for them to reprint that they can use as chase cards. And they don't have to be like super expensive chase cards. It could just be alternate artworks of, say, if they unban Primetime, it could be some kind of full art alternate artwork of Primetime, something that, you know, even the modern players would probably love to get their hands on. So overall, I think it would be a great way that Wizards could satisfy the casual Commander group and the competitive Commander group. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you could, just go ahead and when you leave a comment, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to it, and go ahead and ring that bell so you're notified whenever I release new content. I would also love to hear from you on what kind of content you want to see. I know everyone has been bombarded with everything having to do with this ban, with the banning that's taking place, with Wizards of the Coast taking over. I do want your thoughts on where you'd like to see this channel go and how you'd like to see this channel grow. Do you want to see more deck techs? Do you want to see pack openings? Do you want to, you know, theory craft decks, whether it be for Commander or one of the other formats? I'll do my best to satisfy whatever I can. So go ahead and leave that comment, and until next time, keep slinging those spells.